Policybazaar. Mr. Dahiya, your top line has grown well. How sustainable is it? All costs have gone sharply due to employee benefits and ad spends. Is there a conscious attempt to rein in on costs?
So I think we have two parts of our business, right? We have the core business and the new initiatives. And while we have seen growth in both, what you are, I'm just trying to understand what you are referring to in terms of employee cost having gone up, because yes, our total revenue has increased by 105%. And commensurate to that, in the new initiatives, we have brought down our losses from the last 2 quarters by about 30 crore rupees per quarter. And we will do another 30 crore rupees a quarter of cost reduction by the last quarter of this year. And on the core business, while you have seen the growth in business of about 55% on revenue, you have also seen a growth in contribution, which has almost doubled over the year. So actually the growth in contribution is a lot higher. And at the EBITDA level, there is a delta for the first half, which is 98 crores, and for the last quarter, which is about 60 crores. So actually in the new, in the core business, you are seeing more efficiency, more profitability. And in the new initiatives, you're actually seeing lower losses. Now, the point is, if you compare to last year, the new initiatives have grown a little more than the core business. So that's just a mixed change, right? But overall, the losses are lower and the business is about double.
Right. Alok, Bansal, welcome to you too as well. And thanks for taking that time out and speaking with us. But, if I could just ask you that golden question, what has the journey to profitability and EBITDA been like? Levers available to you, the timing of the journey, how is it going to play out?
See, there are 3-4 different parts to our business to understand what we do. The first is the revenue part. Now, as of now, if you look at our earnings deck, you'll see that we have been growing at about 2 to 5x of the industry growth rate. So that drives the revenue side of the business, on the core business. Initiatives, because they start from a small base, would see a much faster growth rate, but at some point they will also taper off as we work more on the efficiency. But overall revenue continues to grow at least 2 to 3x or 5x of the industry growth rates. Now coming to the cost part, there are two main costs for us. One is the customer acquisition cost, and second is the customer servicing cost. In both of these, we are becoming more and more efficient. So on the marketing side, you will see that our premium per inquiry has moved quite drastically from 1100 rupees odd from last year to about 1500 rupees odd. And that's a very big change within a year. Similarly, as we move towards the hybrid model, we are seeing about 38-40% more efficiency coming from the hybrid model. So all these make us more efficient, and that's why the contribution could move from 35% to 45%. Below the contribution level, we have got few other costs which are mostly fixed in nature, and a lot of the benefit of the improving contribution and improving revenue directly then flows down to the EBITDA, and hence the EBITDA in the last 2 quarters for the core business has been positive. There is obviously a large non-cash charge of ESOP which has to be taken on the PNL, although the costs were incurred pre-IPO, but the charges will keep on coming on the PNL for next 5 years. So that's the only thing. But another way to look at it, to be honest, is just look at our cash balance plus receivables. That number has not gone down; it's actually gone up, and that will continue to go up from now onwards.
Right. Yashish, you are at the core of a fintech company. So wanted to understand what then is the rationale behind doing a point of salesperson business?
See, insurance as a product is a very difficult product to get consumers in. We are pretty much the only place in India where customers come on their own and say, I want to buy insurance. That does not happen in insurance as a category, right? Because it's not like a desirable product. It's not like an ice cream or a pair of jeans or a pair of specs. Out here, the best case scenario for you is that you pay the money and never deal with the product ever again, right? Because a claim is not a happy experience. And so a lot of consideration is required and a lot of nudging is required before a person actually purchases what is eventually good for them. So it's a sort of about health insurance and life insurance, that if you have somebody who supports a customer once they have come to the website, so the customer comes to the website, but if you don't support the customer and just let him be, he converts at, let's say, X. But if you are able to support him, he converts at 3X. If you are able to enhance that support, as in also go and meet the customer at their house, you can get 6X. And hence, every incremental effort you are putting in getting the person to convert, you are getting higher and higher productivity. Now, a typical offline agent who does not have the customers coming to him makes only 50,000 rupees to 100,000 rupees a year of sales, a month of sales. Whereas the person in our call center is doing almost 10 lakh rupees of sales, more than 10 lakh rupees of sales every month. But the moment we put a person who also is willing to go and meet the customer, he starts doing 20 lakh rupees of sales a month. But the reason is not because he's a super salesperson. The reason is because he's getting those inquiries where customers are ready, but not quite ready to part with the money yet.
Right.
So it takes a lot of nudge to get the customer to take out 20,000 rupees from his pocket and say, hey, I give this to this insurance company. And my best case scenario is I never see this product ever again, because falling sick or dying is not a happy experience for anyone.
So take all of those points, but the other piece that's denting your cash flows is the regular outlays for new initiatives. You just talked about all of that, but give us the rationale behind this, and can you give examples as yet about how these new initiatives have started to bear fruit?
See, when we talk of new initiatives and the spend that we do on those, the bulk of that goes into what we call as POSP, point of sale person initiative, where we are enabling the sales agents out there to be able to service their customers in a better way using our platform and technology. And in that particular business, as of now, we are investing, and we had already mentioned for the year we'll be investing somewhere near to about 200 crores for all the initiatives put together, but the bulk will go into POSP. Now, the aim for that business, to be honest, when we started middle of last year, was how fast can we get to the leadership position? And that was achieved within the first 6-7 months. Once we got to that level, the team has started working on the efficiency side on all the initiatives. And when we work towards the efficiency, there are multiple things we have to do. And one of the very important things that we could achieve, again, in a very short time, was enabling the same sales agents to be able to sell more products of not only motor, but also health, life, corporate, whichever the customer need. And that is going to enhance the earning capability of that sales agent. So, eventually, if you look at India as an overall market, there are a lot of people who are coming to Policybazaar, but there are people who are going to some agent. So from our perspective, if we have to give the service to this industry, we have to service both. So customers who come to us, they go through the normal experience of a telecalling plus physical meeting. Customers who choose to go to an agent, the agent is able to give them a part of Policybazaar experience by using our platform. They are able to give them better experience, not only in buying, but even through claims. We have a large team which supports these customers who come through the sales agents. So overall, it is in a way complementary to what we were doing. And, hence we thought that this is something we as a company should definitely, spend some time and effort towards.
Okay, so that's as far as new initiatives go, for which we have, of course, seen cash flows taking a dent. The other big trigger will be when we'll have a one-stop platform for everything to do with insurance, from buying to claim settlement, Bima Sugam, a demat account like for policyholders. We would love to get your views on that. But what we're also seeing right now for PB Fintech is plenty of competition on the credit side of the business. How are you withstanding that, and how are you going to grow your market share?
So we do not play so much in many other areas, but what we do work at is when a customer comes to us, we have their credit score, etc. And basis that, we advise them, and basis the customer's need. The customer may need 5,000 rupees for 5 days, or they may need 5 lakh rupees for 10 years. Basis their need, we advise them which are the different institutions who can supply them that credit, that loan, and who can do it very fast for them in a very transparent manner. We don't carry any of the risk on ourselves, but what we do is we take all the information and do the initial assessment and pass that on to the financial institution. So to the customer, the value that we are adding is we are covering the widest spectrum of suppliers and telling them where they can receive their offer. And to the suppliers, we are marrying them with the customers who are likely to buy their products. So from a marketplace model perspective, it does a phenomenal job. It is able to give some offer to 80% of, because see, customers don't have the same profile. You cannot have a single offering for all customers. There are customers who are super prime, there are customers who are prime, below prime, there are customers who cannot be given credit, who have to take step-up cards, who have to have various solutions for themselves. So covering that entire gamut is Paisabazaar's strength, and that's exactly what it does. So I don't think it competes with any player who's got a specific offering. In fact, those players are largely suppliers to Paisabazaar.
And, given the fact that, Mr. Bansal, your stock has been under immense pressure, are there any investor concerns that you'd like to allay?
No, I think, see, what we can control is how the company is doing. And that's what, as you would have seen in the earnings deck, from growth, profitability, modes, customer, service levels, tech levels, everything seems to be heading in the right direction. Now, when we look at the stock price, to be honest, we don't understand these dynamics as well. Both Yashish and me, we don't invest in markets personally. We have never invested in markets personally ever, actually. But the way we have understood over the last 1 year is there are a lot of factors outside of what you do which can impact your stock. These may be the rate change which the government may do in India or US. These may be some other factors which can play on investors' mind at any point of time. The way we look at our business, we say, okay, a lot of these questions will get answered as time progresses, but we just need to execute. We just need to keep on proving that more and more customers are coming to us. They are getting the best possible service. They are getting the best possible claim support. Eventually, as numbers start to come through, I mean, we have already stated that the objective for the management has been very, very clear that we want to deliver 1,000 crore of profitability by FY27. Now, if that gets delivered, then the noise which comes from those other factors automatically starts to not have that much impact. So, I think we as a company and management are quite comfortable in terms of what we want to execute. But stock price is something, to be honest, we don't really understand and we don't want to have a comment on.
No, fair enough. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time out and joining in, giving investors and shareholders a lot more clarity as to where the business is headed. They're going to execute with the best possible services. They're headed in the right direction. And as of now, are looking to invest close to 200 crores in initiatives, with a bulk of that going to POSP.